Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. I got a couple of questions recently from viewers after watching a video that I did using the Core Tackle Tush Jighead, requesting specifically what some of my favorite baits were to use with the Tush Jighead. Now specifically Tush stands for the ultimate swim bait head, so we designed that for swim baits, but what we're finding is that it's really good for some other applications as well. So I thought I'd do a quick video for you to update you on what I'm finding to be very, very productive with the Tush, as well as what other users have recommended me to try on the Tush. So I thought that this would be something that you guys might find helpful if you're looking for some other baits to try on the Ultimate Swim Bait Head by Core Tackle. Before I do get into that, I do want to remind you, if you're looking to support the channel and you want to try some of these baits, please use my Tackle Warehouse affiliate link to make those purchases. Every little bit I get from that goes right back into making content for everyone out in YouTube world. So I'll put links for these baits in the video. Excuse me. I'll put links for these baits in the video description. And if you want to check them out, you can go there and check them out. All right. So the Tush, for some of you that are not familiar with it, the Tush is this guy right here. It's an internally weighted jig head. So what that means is you slide this whole lead head body into the bait that you're using. Now we do have the regular size, which is this guy right here. So this is the 2/0 quarter ounce size. And then we also have what we call the finesse Tush. So just so you guys can see, this is also a 2/0 hook, but the hook is a finesse light wire hook, substantially smaller. And they work in different baits because of that. So just talking about the finesse Tush here, one of my absolute favorite baits on that is just some of your smaller Kitex. You know, I've got one pre-rigged right here. Your 3.3, 3.8 sizes work really well. You can even squeeze the smaller 2/0 finesse Tush into some of your smaller 2.8 or 3-inch swim baits, but an absolute killer with respect to your small finesse swim baits like the Kitex Fat Impact here. So definitely one of my favorites. The bigger Kitex Fat Impacts as well on some of the bigger full-size Tush hooks, the 4/0 and 7/0, those are also favorites of mine. A couple other paddling style baits that I really like. You know, Berkley came out with the unrigged coal shad. I've done videos where I put the Tush in this guy. This is our 7/0 hook that I've got inside of this. Caught a pile of fish on it. I've been using this quite a bit, having tons of success. So the Berkley unrigged coal shad is another really good one with the Tush. Another one that I like, this is the Berkley paddling power stinger. So you guys know how much I like the power stinger for my vibrating jig trailers and swim bait trailers and spinnerbait trailers. But they've also got a paddling version, and it works really well because their body is thicker. Now, one thing I want to point out, you generally want a more solid bodied bait to put that weight inside of. If the bait has a really big deep slot, so you can see this has a slot, but it's probably only like a 1/16 of an inch deep. If it's got a really deep slot, sometimes that weight will actually push through the slot, which doesn't mean it's not going to be usable. It still is. It just doesn't look like actually look quite as good because you can see the weight inside the slot, but the baits still work with it. Just something to keep in mind. But your normal full-bodied soft plastic paddle and boot-tailed swim baits work extremely well in the Tush. Those are some of the ones that I really have had a ton of success with. Now, having said that, I've been using the Tush for a lot of other things. One of those is my tubes. Now, this is what I call your small micro tubes. This is a 2-inch tube by Berkley. You can take the Tush, drop it on the floor, and then you just insert it just like a normal tube jig head. And from that standpoint, it works so well. This is the finesse one, works extremely well with your small 2.5-inch tubes, and gives the bait a different fall. At the same time, if you want to beef up your hook, you can still put your 2/0 normal Tush up in there as well. That'll still work. Just gives you a little bit bigger hook, just like that. Your full-size tubes, you can throw the 4/0 Tushes in. They work extremely well too. So I love it for my tube baits. And then last but not least, the guys that are using it for forward-facing sonar are doing it with the mid-strolling techniques. So baits like the depth Sakamata shad are very, very popular right now. We've had a ton of people saying how good it is on that. The same thing goes for this guy right here. This is the Hog Farmer Spunk Shad, another killer bait with the tush. You've probably seen the videos Johnny has put together where he's catching a pile of fish. You can go check that out over on Fish the Moment. But the Spunk Shad with the tush, and another one, probably no surprise, is the old Crush City freeloader. This guy right here, just another really good bait. And a lot of that, again, has to do with the fact that there's a good amount of plastic where you can insert that into the middle with. So if you're looking to do a little bit of strolling, your favorite straight tail minnow baits will work extremely well on the tush too. So let me know in the comment section, do you guys have some other baits that you love to put on the tush that are working really well? You know, at this point, I would consider it an extremely versatile bait, versatile jig head for multiple different techniques that work pretty much with all baits out there, just like a standard jig head. I just love throwing it. I think it does a really good job at making a bait more compact, making it look much more natural, gives the bait more belly roll because the weight is transferred down. You'll lose a lot less fish because now your weight is closer to the hook penetration point. So when that fish comes up and jumps, instead of having that big weight going side to side, the weight is back here. It doesn't move the bait nearly as much. You get better hookups because you no longer have to blow through a big jig head in the front of the bait. Just a lot of advantages to it. And I think you'll find that if you give the tush a try, you'll find that you like it. I'll put a link for all these baits in the video description. Hopefully this answers the viewer questions regarding the baits that I like to use in the Core Tackle Tush. And let me know in the comment section, what are some of your favorite baits to use with it as well? Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and stay tuned. We'll have a new video coming out tomorrow.